Space Mountain is an indoor roller coaster in Tomorrowland and the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. It opened on January 15, 1975, and was the first Space Mountain attraction at any Disney park. It is unique in that it features two tracks, much like its inspiration, Disneyland's Matterhorn bobsleds, which opened in 1959. The idea for the ride came from Walt Disney himself in the mid-60s, before he passed away, as a way to simulate an astronaut's return trip to Earth. It would feature a roller coaster that took place entirely indoors. Inside the enclosed structures, the lights would be turned out and stars and asteroids would be projected onto its smooth white ceiling. It was originally going to be the centerpiece of a newly configured Tomorrowland in Disneyland. The idea was shelved for nearly a decade before being resurrected for the Magic Kingdom in Florida, which up to that point had a grievous lack of trail ride. To celebrate its opening, Disney threw an opulent ceremony which featured an entire marching band, marching upon the People Mover. Its guest of honor was Colonel James Irwin, pilot of the lunar module on Apollo 15, who gave it an enthusiastic thumbs up. The waiting queue has computer games for guests and long waits. Close to the boarding area, they split into two groups, Alpha and Omega. Then, after a small part of the line, guests board the ride. The ride vehicle is two cars attached together to make one vehicle. The ride is 3 guests per car, and uses a pull-down bar for restraints. Space Mountain consists of 2 almost identical tracks, one Alpha, the other Omega. The ride is electronically operated via computer, a first in the history of roller coaster. Using specific brake zones, the computer is able to gauge the weight of each car and its distance between other cars, allowing for multiple cars on one track. Most roller coasters today have similar programs. Space Mountain closed on April 19, 2009 for a lengthy renovation project. It will be the first extensive renovation since a previous closure in September 1999 and is estimated to cost $12.3 million. A major component of the renovation is the installation of a new track for the roller coasters, although the current layout will be left unchanged. Other renovations include an upgraded queue area, including some new interactive elements, and a new ceiling for the dome shell. Disney officials did not indicate if this was the full extent of the project or if other changes were in store, but a spokeswoman for the park stated, "We're retaining many of the classic elements that made Space Mountain a rite of passage at the Magic Kingdom that's been enjoyed by generations." Space Mountain is scheduled to reopen on November 21, 2009. In a recent video from Attractions magazine, the construction walls in front of Space Mountain's entrance have been removed, hinting to possible soft openings and revealing the new Fast Pass kiosk and logo with lime green letters. The sign that the TTA passes by before entering the mountain now has the Space Mountain logo in green. On November 13th, the Space Mountain had a soft opening with signs reading, "Space Mountain is now in test mode. You may experience periods of delay during the operation." Inside, the entrance has been redesigned with the original panels moved further right, and a large painting of Space Mountain with words Starport 75, a reference to the ride's opening in 1975. There are also new panels that list other space stations as well as the 5 real-life Space Mountains. The panel describes this Space Mountain as MK1 Tomorrowland Station, also a reference meaning Magic Kingdom, the first Space Mountain in Tomorrowland. The other Space Mountain are referred to as TL Space Station 77, Discovery Landing Paris, Ashida Base Tokyo, HK Spaceport THD. The queue is exactly the same with enhanced features in the windows and lighting along with a newly added exit at the end of the tunnel. The entrance, Star Tunnel, and loading area music are still in place, having been heard since 1985 when RCA sponsored the attraction. In the third tunnel, all of the windows on the right side have been replaced with the video games, while the windows on the left still hold the 3D mini models. In the loading area, the newly enclosed loading dock has 6 above windows with projections of planets. The rocket cars are mostly the same with fresh paint jobs, but they no longer glow in the dark. There are also new astronauts under the spaceship on the lift hill with blue stripes. It was rumored that the onboard music from Disneyland Space Mountain was to be installed, but there is no onboard or offboard audio. Probably the only real change to the ride is the post-show and exit. The new post-show revives elements of the original post-show in 1982, such as futuristic televisions with destination listings and a futuristic living room. Several months after the attraction reopened, a new musical score was added in speakers lining the tracks. The piece entitled Mount Bob and composed by Mike Brassel was advertised by Disney as presented in stereophonic sound. The score briefly includes musical cues from Michael Giacchino's 2005 score for the Disneyland version of the attraction. With the help from a NASA astronaut, Space Mountain opened in January 1975 at Magic Kingdom Park. The idea originated with Walt Disney in the late 1960s, but the technology did not exist to bring his vision to life. Later, when the attraction was given the green light, Mercury 9 and Gemini 5 astronaut Gordon Cooper joined the Space Mountain creative team as a consultant. He wanted to make sure that the attraction incorporated information gleaned during NASA's early space missions, and that the experience felt like actual spaceflight. His valuable input has made Space Mountain a favorite for over 35 years. Space Mountain is known for frequent breakdowns. During a breakdown, the work lights are turned on, breaking the illusion of traveling through space. While the attraction is shut down, the Tomorrowland Transit Authority people mover that passes through the building does not, allowing passengers to see the ride with the lights on. This version of Space Mountain is featured in the Golden Girls episode 2 Rode Together, where to ride the ride was a goal of Sophia's, and in the end she rode it with Dorothy.